Welcome to the Commissioner's Report. I'm Miles Vance. On March 4th of this year, Shawn Smith was appointed as the Polk County Fire Rescue Chief. Chief Smith has served in various roles for PCFR since 2003, when he started as a firefighter. His appointment symbolizes the beginning of a new era for Polk County's Fire Rescue Department, and joining me today in the studio to talk about the exciting things to come at PCFR is Commissioner Bill Braswell, along with Chief Smith. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, well, first of all, Chief Smith, congratulations. A long time coming. You've been serving this county since 2003. How does it feel to be at the top of the pyramid?
Oh man, it's great. Thank you, Miles, for the introduction. Thank you, Mr. Braswell, for trusting me. Oh, it's been a fantastic ride. Like I said, I've seen this organization come from 2003 to the present, so working on 22 years. It's momentous, for sure. Can I say it was actually a career ambition to ever be the fire chief? No, but I really, not that I don't embrace it, but it's really as I progressed in life and or different chapters in my life and as I watched the organization grow, the shortcomings, what we could be, where we're not going, I felt that it was a calling that I think we can do more, and I think I can, as I promoted through the ranks, I had a bigger platform to make a difference. So this is the pinnacle. I'm very happy, very excited. A lot of great things coming on in our organization. And a lot of that's from the support of the county commissioners and from Chairman Braswell to when he was the chairman, to when he's the commissioner, to Commissioner Lindsay and everybody. That support's always been there. And some of that comes with the financial support, the emotional support, and just the support knowing that, hey, there are going to be some hurdles and we have your back. Let's go ahead and make this change and or in the culture and in the organization. You know what I mean? Our counterpart per se is Sheriff Grady Judd, which is a huge icon in the organization, and it's something that we can strive to be a commissioned organization, to work with that, to have the support that he has, and that's something that we would really like to mirror on how their organization from the top down and how they function.
And I think we're going to go through a transition here, and Shawn's the right guy at the right time because as I mentioned before, I like the idea of our fire rescue department being a destination department. What I mean by that is you come here, you start working here, and you stay here your whole career. We haven't done that in the past, and we're shifting gears to make this the department that people want to come to, and Shawn's the right guy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so what are some of those methods to keep people in the area to make sure that they choose PCFR as the place they want to spend their entire career?
Well, a huge issue we've had for many years is overtime. We've just worked these guys until they can. And what really brought it to light to me just recently was the fact we've turned over basically 100 fire rescue employees every year for 4 years in a row. In a department that's what, 700 people?
Correct.
750? Yes, that's ridiculous, and it's unacceptable. It tells me what I need to know, that we're not treating these people right, and we're changing that, and we're not getting away. We're doing away with overtime. Of course, there'll be a little bit of overtime. There's always those unforeseen circumstances, but to get rid of that, I want this department to work toward a Kelly Day and eventually to, what do you call that, a D shift?
Correct, yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, this is the industry standard everywhere else. There's no reason Polk County can't have the best.
Absolutely. And promoting that work-life balance is something that's so important, not just for people who are working these high-stress jobs like firefighting, but for everybody who lives in Polk County and wants to stay in Polk County and call Polk County a home.
Well, and the fact remains, who wants a guy showing up on an ambulance that's been working for 40 hours?
Absolutely.
I mean, there was a time, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there probably was a time where there weren't that many calls, and during your shift you may get a few hours sleep here or there. But those days are gone. We did, what, 135,000 calls last year?
Correct, yeah.
I mean, the numbers are crazy, and these guys really aren't getting any rest. And so they just burn out really quick, and we've got to stop that.
Right. And another thing that we're doing to alleviate that and to help eliminate overtime, we had that announcement about a couple months ago, about the 75 new positions.
Sure.
Talk a little bit about that, what that means for the department, how that's going to help ease the burden of overtime, and what that means for the economy of the area.
I'll
as
let
well.
Shawn take that one.
Yeah, so much like what Commissioner Braswell was saying, the 75 positions which were awarded, that's what we call an overlapping resources. That really helps so people can go home. So we have some vacancies. We're actively filling those vacancies. Those 75 positions help us cover the positions that our CBA collective bargaining agreement upon. So every shift there was allowed about 20 people off per shift, and Polk County Fire Rescue has two local unions. We have the IFF, which is the International Association of Firefighters, and then also the IEP. So in their negotiations, they kind of negotiate on how many people we can have off per shift using vacation and PTO time. So every day, we have about 20 to 25 people off per day, per the CBA, and that's not counting sick leave, that's not counting some FMLA for anything to do with family emergencies, anything like that. So those overlapping resources will help cover those spots, which will also eliminate some of the overtime. You know, like Commissioner Braswell was saying, some of the overtime is healthy, but sometimes we need to find that work-life balance and be an advocate for our people to say, hey, no, you're not working any longer. Some people, that's their mentality where they like to work. So we need to find that balance of what's healthy overtime and what is not healthy overtime.
And I'm sure the young guys, you know, and gals like the overtime.
Yep.
You know, they're trying to make more money. They're early in their careers.
Correct.
But you know, you get to a certain point. It's like your family has grown.
Correct.
You don't want to miss your kids' ball games.
Yep.
And you guys, you get your schedule, what, a year in advance? I mean.
Correct, yeah. So it's Polk County Fire Rescue or the traditional fire service is an A, B, and C shift, which is 24 hours, 48 hours off. So that schedule stays constant that whole time. If you want to have the Christmas, Thanksgiving, sometimes you can bid what shift you want because you know 2-3 years in advance. You know that schedule. It's pretty consistent.
Yeah, and then you build your life around that. And then here we go, oh, no, by the way, you got to work another day or two.
Correct.
You know, I mean, that just throws everything into disarray.
Correct.
It's hard on your family, and it's just not right. And we're in the process of fixing that.
Yep.
Sure. And it seems to me, you know, you mentioned Sheriff Grady, of course, and his sheriff's department. And you know, with building up the fire rescue department, it seems to me like we are poised to have some of the best public services in all of Florida. And one part of that is the new technology that you're embracing. So talk a little bit about the health screening that we have, the carcinogen screening that is going into the new stations. Talk about the drone, how your department is embracing technology to help lead you into this new era.
Correct, and that's one of those balancing acts that you need to do in the fire service. Fire service is very traditional. So embracing tradition and technology, some organizations don't do a very good job of that. We're going to be an organization that really embraces technology and tradition. Tradition is important in the fire service and in this profession, but technology will really make it benefits all of us in our overall health. So a couple things that we did do is we ended up having 2 sets of bunker gear, which really limit our carcinogen exposure, that's a technology thing. PPE, we call it bunker gear, is getting advanced, very advanced, to where we can, the PFAS, all that stuff is being eliminated. It's really securing our areas. We know what areas, or through science, they know what areas really absorb some of these carcinogens, you know, the lymph nodes and all that, and they have extra protection in there. So the bunker gear is a big one. Then our stations, how we design our stations, really we enhance. We want a green space in that area in our station, in our footprint of the station or our site plan. We also want the technology around that station. So it's broken into a red, yellow, and green zone. Our stations are. A red zone is considered where we park our apparatus and our bays. That is the dirty zone. You know, you have diesel exhaust. We're coming off of calls. You have you either have the carcinogens and also all the medical stuff. You know, the germs. Viruses, any of that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the red zone. And then we go into a yellow zone, and the yellow zone is kind of the decontamination area. In that yellow zone, we have PPE, like bunker gear extractors, which we can wash all our dirty gear, and also decon showers if we need to, and I should say, if they're in uniforms and the uniforms get soiled from a medical call or a fire call, we have the changing areas in bathrooms and showers in there where they can take that off. And then once they're clean from that area, then they go into our living quarters, the green area, and that's going to be the kitchen, report writing room, bedrooms, fitness area, and all that. So we really embrace that. We also embrace the TICs. We call them the thermal imaging cameras, which allow us to, once we get off a truck, or we can scan some of our occupancies and or residential or commercial structures, and you can see where the seat of the fire is, you can see victims, you can see animals, you can see all that, and it really helps us get into these areas fast, quick, get them in, get them out, stabilize the incident. You know, where life safety is priority number one in the fire service, and then property conservation. So that really, we embrace that technology, and also the drones. The drones really paint that big picture for us. Drones, we can use drones on brush fires. We can use them on residential and or commercial fires. We use them for lost victims, especially out in that Lake Wales area, some of our outdoorsy areas, and even some of the trails in that Auburndale area, because we can put them up and they have heat signature cameras on there, so we can find lost hikers. We use them on our boat team too to find submerged. I say submerged victim, you know, but if there's somebody with a capsized boat, you really can't see a lot of their body, but you can see their head if they're above water. So, you know, it really helps us do that. And what that really does is limits the wear and tear on our bodies, because we're really using that technology, isolating where we're going, and we're going there quick, fast, and efficiently.
And we're building a new training center.
And a new training center, yep. Brand new training center, which is, go ahead,
coming
sir.
online when?
It broke ground 2 weeks ago, so it was a 365 build day. So, well, about 370 days, you know, including county holidays. So, yeah, so next year at this time, hopefully we can do this there. That would be fantastic.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be great.
It'll be nice. It'll be
it's going to be state of the art. About a 28,000 square foot anchor building is what we call it. It'll have about 12 classrooms, from EMS simulation labs to dirty classrooms to clean classrooms, and then we'll have burn towers, propane farms, and all that to really train all our individuals.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, we're running low on time here,
Okay,
so
sorry.
I'll just have you, if you could, let the residents know what your vision is for PCFR. You know, the full scope, what you want the department to look like in 5 years from now, and then 25 years from now.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, Miles. Really, I want the organization to mirror who we are as a community. This area is growing. We want to be a 21st century fire department that really, and what I mean by that is we want to have the technology, embrace technology with brute strength, with aggressive but intelligent firefighting and or extrication and medical. We have a great Dr. Banerjee, a medical director who's really progressive and leads the nation and or the state of Florida in our medical. We want to be a diverse group too. We want to embrace these different cultures as they're coming in. We want to embrace even the Midwest. The Midwest, you could say cultures and demographics. But even the Northwest and Northeast, America is so big, we still want to embrace those cultures and show them the right Southern culture, the good culture.
Yeah,
so we really want to do that too. But we just want to be an open organization that welcomes everybody, that's going to continue to serve the community and continue to grow and serve the community as our needs. We're a multi-hazard mitigation organization. We handle everything you call 911. We're going, and we're going to continue that, and we're going to really search for an identity that's, we're not going to search, we are going to have an identity of who we are, and we're going to be Polk County Fire Rescue. We're going to be strong.
The best of what we do. We're going to be the best. I'm sure of that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you both so much for taking the time to join us on the show today.
Thanks. Great being here.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.